Hello everybody, you are welcome once again to this channel. Today we'll be looking at quadratic equations. Quadratic equations take the general form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. An example is 5x squared plus 6x plus 3 equals 0. Where a here represents 5, b here represents, look at this, b represents 6, while c here represents 3. C is equal to 3. Now there are 4 methods of solving quadratic equations. You have factorization method, you have the formula method, you have the squares method, or completing the square method. And you also have graphical method. So these are the 4 methods of solving quadratic equations. But today we're looking at these 3: factorization method, formula method, and squares method. So let's start with the first one, which is factorization method. Okay, let's solve an example. Two x squared plus 9x plus 10 equals 0. Now to solve this, equation, we multiply this by that. 2x squared multiplied by 10 gives us 20x squared. Now be looking for factors, two numbers which when we multiply gives us 20x squared, and when we sum it up gives us 9x. Two numbers which when we multiply gives 20x squared, and when you sum it up gives us 9x. The first thing we do is we list out the factors of 20x squared. The factors of 20x squared, we have 5x and 4x, we have 20x and x, we have 10, we have 10x and 2x. Now look at this, 10x times 2x, let's start with this, it gives us 20x squared. 10x plus 2x gives us 12x. So this cannot work because we need the sum to give us 9x. 20x times x gives us 20x squared. 20x plus x gives us 21x. 20x minus x gives us 19x, so it can't work. Now look at this, 5x times 4x gives us 20x squared. 5x plus 4x gives us 9x. So you see, the factors we are using here are 5x and 4x. So this becomes 2x squared. Now remove plus 9x, we replace it with 5x and 4x. So this becomes 22x squared plus 5x plus 4x plus 10 equals 0. And we can enclose this in brackets for ease of solution. Now what's common here? It's only x. Or if you wish, you can rearrange this. Let's rearrange it. You can rearrange it in this form. Plus 4x plus 5x plus 10. You can rearrange it in this form. You can also leave it this way and solve it. So what's common here? 2 is common. X is also common. So 2x squared divided by 2x. Look at it. 2x squared, that's 2x and x divided by 2x. X cancels x. 2 cancels 2. We're left with x. So 2x squared divided by 2x is x. Plus 4x divided by 2x is 2. Plus, there's a plus there, remember? What's common here? 5. 5 is common. 5x divided by 5 is x. Plus 10 divided by 5, that's 2, equals 0. So we'll collect this 2x, then plus 5, and also we equate it to 0, then x plus 2. You know there are 2 there. We have 2x plus 2, so collect 1, equate it to 0. So this becomes 2x equals, when you move plus 5 to the right hand side, it becomes minus 5. Then x equals minus 2. So that this becomes s equals, when you divide both sides by 2, you have minus 5 divided by 2, and x equals minus 2. That's our final answer. Now the second method we are using is here is the formula method. The formula method is given by x equals minus b plus or minus root b square minus 4ac over 2a. Now let's go back to the previous question. That's 2x squared plus 9x plus 10 equals 0. So in this case, our a is 2, our b is 9, and our c is 10. So substituting all this, substitute the values of a, b, and c into this equation gives us x equals minus b, that's minus 9, plus or minus root b squared, that's 9 square, minus 4 ac, that's 4 times 2, since a is 2, times 10, since c is 10, 10. Divided by 2a, that's 2 times 2. So this gives us x equals minus 9 plus or minus root 9 squared is 81, minus 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 10 is 80, divided by 2 times 2 is 4. So x equals minus 9 plus or minus square root 81 minus 8 is 1, divided by 4. So that's x equals minus 9 plus or minus square root of 1 is 1, divided by 4. So this is the same as minus 9 plus 1 over 4, or minus 9 minus 1 over 4. So this gives us minus 9 plus 1 is minus 8 divided by 4, or minus 9 minus 1 is minus 10 divided by 4. So minus 8 divided by 4 gives us minus 2. X equals minus 2. Or minus 10 divided by 4, we can split this. 2 divided by 10 divided by 2, 5. 4 divided by 2 is 2. That's minus 5, or minus 5 over 2. So any method you are using, you are getting the same answer. Remember, it's the same answer we got in the first method. So just get it. So the last method we are using here is completing the square method. Completing the square method. Now there are rules you follow when using completing the square method. There are rules you follow. Now back to the question. 2x squared plus 9x plus 10 equals 0. Now the first thing you do is move the constant term to the right hand side. So that becomes 2x squared plus 9x equals, when you move plus 10 to the right, it becomes minus 10. The next is you divide both sides. Divide both sides by the coefficient of x squared. By the coefficient of s squared, and the coefficient of s squared is 2. So this, divide both sides by the coefficient of s squared, becomes 2s squared divided by 2 plus 9x divided by 2 is equal to minus 10 divided by 2. 2 cancels out. You have x squared plus 9x divided by 2 is equal to minus 5. X squared plus 9x x squared plus 9x over 2 is equal to minus 5. Now the next thing you do is add the square add the square of half the coefficient of x to both sides. To both sides. The coefficient of x here is 9 divided by 2. Then the half is 1 over 2 times that. Then the square is that. So this gives us 1 times 9 is 9 divided by 2 times 2 is 4. Then square is squared. So this becomes, so we are adding this to both sides. It becomes x squared plus 9x divided by 2 plus 9 divided by 4 square is equal to minus 5 plus 9 over 4 squared. Are you seeing that? So this becomes, when we solve the right hand side, we have minus 5 plus 81 over 16. 81 over 16 The square of 4 is 16. It's 1 over 16. So this gives us, we are still solving the right hand side. We take LCM of both sides. LCM of both sides is 16. This is the same as over 1. So 1 into 16 is 16. 16 times minus 5 is minus 80. Plus 16 into 16 is 1. 1 times 81 is 81. So this becomes minus 80 plus 81 is 1. 1 over 16. So this becomes x squared plus 9x divided by 2 plus 9 over 4 squared is equal to 1 over 16. Now look at this. Now this x, now you write x, you ignore the square, you write x plus, you write 9 over 4, 9 over 4, enclose this in bracket, then you square it. When you expand this, you get the whole of this expression. So this is equal to 1 over 16. Now when you square both sides, you have x plus 9 over 4. When you take square root of both sides, it becomes plus or minus square root of 1 over 16. So move this to the right hand side, you have x equals minus 9 over 4 plus or minus square root of 1 is 1 over square root of 16 is 4. So this becomes x equals minus, since they have common denominators, you can do this, minus 9 plus or minus 1 over 4. So x equals minus 9 plus 1 over 4, or minus 9 minus 1 over 4. So x is equal to minus 9 plus 1 is minus 8 over 4, or minus 10 over 4. So this gives us minus 2 or minus 5 over 2. You see, if you use the three methods, you get the same answer. It's the same question I solved, but different methods, and I'm getting the same answer. So thank you very much, everybody.